Hey guys, Brady here. And so I know I talked a lot of shit about the new Fantastic Four movie the other day when I was talking about how Marvel doesn't know what the hell they're doing and that they cut John Malkovich character out of the movie, which makes no sense because John Malkovich is I'm pretty sure is like a very high, uh, what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Like he probably charged me, not charged, but he probably was paid like couple million for this role because it's not like Joseph Quinn or uh Eben, whatever the fuck his name is, that played the thing. He's not like some small actor like those two people are. John Malkovich is pretty popular actor. Is he um as big as like a Tom Hanks or a Robert De Niro? Well, Robert De Niro? No, but still a pretty high caliber actor just to fucking cut from the movie. Anyway, so yeah, I said the other day that Marvel doesn't know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to their movies lately, and yeah. Anyway, so I just saw the Fantastic Four last night after work, and I was pleasantly surprised by this movie. I went in with the lowest of low expectations because of how Marvel's been lately, although I did enjoy Thunderbolts. I thought Thunderbolts was a pretty good movie for the most part. There was some stuff I didn't like. Mainly the effects were terrible. Um, but I enjoyed it for the most part. And then Captain America 4 was not good. It's one of the worst MCU movies recently. It's not as bad as like Black Panther 2 or um, Eternals or anything like that or Shang-Chi. It's still not one of Marvel's best. It's pretty much diet Winter Soldier, and yeah, it just wasn't good. But Fantastic Four, I don't know. I'd probably rank Thunderbolts just a little bit above this movie. I thought Thunderbolts was just a little bit better than this movie, but not by much. Um, uh, I don't want to say anything horrible like Marvel is back or anything. Uh, I've liked the movies that people have been shitting on. Like I thought Doctor Strange 2 was pretty good. I enjoyed Black Widow. Um, and that's pretty much it. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was pretty good. Ant-Man 3 was probably the worst Ant-Man movie of the trilogy. Not that it's bad or anything. It's just not as good as the first two when compared to the first two. Um, Deadpool and Wolverine is fantastic. No Way Home is spectacular. Um, but this wasn't bad. So anyway, the movie pretty much glosses over the origin story of the Fantastic Four. Pretty in this, well, not in a similar manner to Superman a couple weeks ago. They show you like the first 4 minutes or so is just them setting up like, oh, 4 years ago, the Fantastic Four went into space and they got all of these powers, blah blah blah, and then that's it. That's their explanation. This movie takes place in like retro futuristic 1960s. I like the look of the movie. I thought it looked pretty cool. Um, and I like the characters in the movie. Pedro Pascal still isn't my first choice for being Reed Richards. I don't think he looked the part at all. How he got the part is beyond me. Um, but he was probably the worst part of the movie, not because he was bad in the role. He did a serviceable job. He just didn't look the fucking part. And yeah, he did a good job. Just, like I said, they I don't know why they didn't get John Krasinski to be in this movie. And after seeing this movie, I was pretty apprehensive about Shia LaBeouf being in the movie, the female Silver Surfer. I thought what they did with her character was really good, and I see why they made her female in this movie. They made the Silver Surfer female in this movie. But with that being said, they still didn't need it. They still could have Norman Rad. They still could have had him. But it makes sense for the story why she's female. They wanted to give a love interest to Johnny Storm, which is all fine and dandy. But did it have to be the Silver Surfer? Could it be like a random person on the side that wasn't an established beloved character like Silver Surfer? I don't know. But I thought Silver Surfer, that Shia LaBeouf was a pretty good character in the movie. I like what they did with her character. The Marvel humor is nowhere in this movie. It's very like subtle jokes and whatnot, and there's actually one really funny running joke with Johnny Storm wondering if the surfboard is attached to Silver Surfer or not, or it's like detached from her body and whatnot. It's a pretty funny run-on joke that they mention every once in a while. They mention maybe like 3 or 4 times throughout the movie, and it gets a laugh every time for me, or it got a laugh every time they mentioned it for me. And the articles about this movie saying that like, oh, this movie Sue Storm is about gender politics. Her character is gonna be about gender politics in the 60s and whatnot, and that Johnny Storm is not going to be a womanizer. He's going to be less callous, blah blah. That shit's not in this movie whatsoever. It's really not woke. If I had to say anything is woke about the movie, it's them casting a Latino to play Reed Richards. That's literally the only woke thing in the movie. But there's really no wokeness in the movie other than that. But yeah, so let's get to the plot. The plot. So they come back from Earth. They get all these powers. And the movie opens with Sue Storm telling Reed Richards that she's pregnant, and then they have a kid later on in the movie, Franklin Richards, who is supposed to be like this like super being, but they don't think that he's gonna have. They don't know he's gonna have powers. But if you're into the comics, I'm not into the comics, but apparently Reed Richards is like this super smart or whatever. I don't know. Super intelligent. That's all I know about Franklin Richards. And Galactus wants Franklin Richards and wants Sue and Reed's baby. If he doesn't get them, he's going to destroy Earth. And so, yeah, Galactus is in this movie. He has 2 scenes in the entire movie, and I wish we got more of him. He's not in the movie much. So it's kind of a letdown that he's not really in the movie. And then the last scene, the final battle, kind of lackluster. The final action scene is probably a good 7 or 8 minutes long, if that. Not much happens. I do like what they do within that 7 or 8 minutes, especially Galactus pulling Reed Richards like he's like Stretch Armstrong, the Stretch Armstrong toys. I like that. I was laughing at that. Apparently he's not as stretchy as you think, if his clothes are ripping already. But he's not as elastic, I guess, as he was in the 2007 movie. When he's at his wedding, he's like twisting all the way up and all that, and he's dancing with those girls. He's not as elastic in this movie, I guess. He's not that elastic, I mean. So he like stretches him out. I thought he was gonna do this and like fling him across the city. He didn't do that. If he would have done that, that would have been the best part. I would have just died laughing. I was expecting just the way he was stretching. I thought he was just gonna go and like that and just throw him across the city, but he didn't do that. And missed opportunity. Maybe another time we see Mr. Fantastic, they'll do something like that to him. But yeah, Galactus. I like the way he looked in this movie. Um, Silver Surfer was pretty cool, I guess. Uh, Norman Rad may he's not in this movie, but he may appear later on in the MCU. But Shia LaBeouf is the best we have so far, for now, I guess. So yeah, the movie's not a girl boss movie. There's like no wokeness in it whatsoever. I like the interactions with. I like the interactions between what's it called, the Thing and Johnny Storm. Um, you didn't really get a lot of that in the 2015 remake. 2015 remake is one of the worst movies I've ever sat through. I've never been so bored during the movie. Um, there were a few boring movies. That is one of the most boring movies I've ever sat through. There's like no fun in that movie whatsoever. There's no action in that movie whatsoever. But I like the dynamic between Johnny Storm and the Thing in the first two Fantastic Four movies. From 2005 and 2007. But I don't know. The interactions between them in this movie was good, but I thought it was a lot funnier in the 2005 movie. Not that they weren't funny in this movie; they were. I just think the chemistry between the Thing and Johnny, or Michael Chiklis and Chris Evans, was better than the chemistry between Eben Bach, whatever the fuck his name is, and Joseph Quinn. Yeah, there was this one scene early on with Johnny Storm and the Thing, and like Johnny Storm. There's also like a running joke where Johnny Storm likes to eat cereal a lot, and like Johnny Storm opens up like a cereal box, and there's like a little Fantastic Four action figure. I guess it's supposed to be him as a toy or whatever. And he's like shows it to the Thing, and the Thing grabs it and crumples it and turns into dust. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah. So there's stuff like that. Their interactions like that are funny. You don't really get a lot of it in this movie. I feel like the Thing was put on the back burner. He doesn't really do much in this movie except for that shot in the trailer where he's just running into the wall and whatnot. But he doesn't really do much in this movie. It's Johnny Storm does a lot, and Sue Storm does a lot, or Invisible Woman does a lot, and Mr. Fantastic does stuff. The Thing doesn't really do much besides pick up a car and pretend to throw it at kids. Yeah, I do like the sound effects he makes whenever he moves any part of his body. Herbie was pretty cool. I thought they gave Herbie a little bit more to do, and they gave the Thing more to do. So I'm gonna give the Fantastic Four First Steps, which is, by the way, a shitty title. By the way, that was redundant. I'm sorry. I'm gonna give it 3 stars out of 5. The same rating as Superman. I think they're both equally good. They're not like the greatest, or whatnot. Would I rank this above the 2005 and 2007 movie? Yeah, I guess. Especially, I think this is better than Rise of the Silver Surfer. Rise of the Silver Surfer is not that great of a movie. It's short, not a lot of action, and what was with the PG rating of that movie? That's weird. And I rewatched the 2005 movie a couple months ago. I think I rewatched like a couple days after the teaser trailer for this movie came out, and it's okay. It's your typical early 2000s or early to mid 2000s superhero movie. That's not Spider-Man and X-Men. I should say that it's not the first 2 Spider-Man movies and the first 2 X-Men movies. It's like very I can't explain, but that was when comic book movies were kind of like They weren't what they. I don't know. It's hard to explain because 2005 also there was all Batman Begins came out, and Batman Begins was I just watched that recently. Dark Knight's the only good movie in that trilogy. I don't care what people say. Batman Begins was so fucking boring. Really fucking boring. Um, some of the action scenes at the end were pretty cool. The rest of the movie is just slow, boring. What a waste of Scarecrow. They could have done a lot more of this character. And yeah, what a. The 4K for that movie looks great. Like, it looks amazing in 4K. That's the best thing I could. That's the best compliment I have for the movie. But yeah, Fantastic Four, First Steps, 3 stars out of 5.